I hope you're all doing awesome. So we're going to chat today about convincing. Okay, wait. Where is this? We're going to talk about convincing. How do you spell that? How do you spell convincing? Oh my god, is it just me? I'm so bad. I'm so bad with spellings and numbers, remembering numbers. So anyway, we're going to be talking about convincing energy. Energy versus clarity in your content. Okay, this is going to be a fun topic because I have like so many things to say on this. And I've seen that most people, like when they are getting started, one thing that they are so, yeah, fine, it looks good. I have such a delicate tripod set up today. I feel like I'm going to mess it up. But yeah, how is everyone? How is everyone doing? What are we planning this week? This week has been so fun and so crazy for me. So here are a few things that I have been noticing. There are like a pattern in my own clients who want to make big money, right? They are these 6-figure entrepreneurs. Some of them are actually have hit 6 figures. Some of them are getting close to their 5-figure months. And we have been discussing some of these things. And I thought, these are so important and we should be talking more about this and understand how can we bring in more clarity in our content versus creating from a place of like convincing energy, which is what I see really puts people off, right? So someone might be watching your stuff, but if you're on there and your content, you're consistently like, convincing them, you're like, what, this is what you have to do. You're stating people importance of investing in themselves. You're talking about investing or importance of what can I say, like importance of actually working on your goals, or importance of really coming from a place of convincing someone to work with you versus actually bringing that clarity in your content so that they can make a better decision, right? So I know it is important sometimes to highlight the importance of mindset, highlight the importance of investing in themselves. But if we're consistently doing that, what happens is your content then starts exuding that very convincing energy, right? And we don't want to be coming from that place. So it requires for us to come and come from a place of like, oh my god, like things just work out for me, right? Like clients will just fall into my lap, right? That's the energy that we have to come from. We have to come from this energy of such a strong self-concept that you have of yourself, and that requires for you to do a few things and integrate these things into your day-to-day practice, so that when you are showing up in your content, when you are marketing your business, no matter what activity you're doing, the moment you are incorporating these things, it's going to come across that way, right? You're automatically going to gain clarity in your content. Sometimes I get it, like you need to work on your message and you need to work on clarity and all of those things, but I have seen most of the time it is because when I see someone's content, I don't see them in it, right? And it's just this washed off content, which is like, I could have read this somewhere. And then there's no space of like, why should I, it's how they say, right? It's like, there are so many people in this world, right? Who might be doing exactly what you're doing. Why should I be interested in you? It's about the energy and activation you can provide me, right? It's not about how much you know or how much information or what features your offer has or why your offer is better than anyone else out there. It's more about what energy are you bringing to the table. Like when I work with you over a period of 3 months, or if I bought a program from you, what is the level of activation I can expect, right? So it's not about, okay, so this is the information and this is how we're going to, there is a time and place for education. I do have programs that are very strictly education based. But once you have like the basic strategy in place, then it's about how can I work with someone to activate that dormant energy that I have, right? How can I show up with that enthusiasm and right with that level of consciousness, with that level of understanding of my own audience. And all of that stems from you working on your own level of understanding. When you work on your own self-concept and you are understanding that this is who I'm about, right? And that this activation, like everything that I told you, first of all, when I worked on those things on myself, like things really elevated. The kind of clients I was attracting, the A's and the activation that was happening inside my containers. Like my clients, I could see them. They were like, oh my gosh, I have like goosebumps, like something that you said. And that doesn't come from me just educating them. It comes from really tapping into that deeper understanding, that tapping into and unleashing that authentic voice that is always within us, right? So I'm not saying this to be like, okay, fine, it has to be educational, it has to be this way and that way. It's more like you holding that energy that you want to out there, like you want to put out there. It's like I'm having a party, right? And I have like decorated my home. I have ordered the food. I have like the most aesthetic lighting. I have candles lit up, and there's light music playing, and I'm so excited for everyone. And I'm holding that space, right? I'm holding the space for people to come into my world without being like, okay, so why are they not here yet? Like it's 8 p.m. Like why are people not coming? Like you when you're in that energy of like, why isn't it happening now? Like right now, why are people not coming? Are they bailing on me? Like what if no one shows up to the party? And this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing when we're not seeing immediate validation, or even not seeing immediate traction. You gotta keep your party, and you gotta hold that energy. You gotta hold that energy so that people who are coming in, they can see that you have the door open. And you're not every 2 seconds, you're not checking the door and you're like, oh my god, like no one showed up, what should I do? Let me just shut the door. There's no point of having this party. And you turn off the lights, and maybe the people were in the driveway, maybe the people were getting Uber, and it was just taking them a little longer. So it's that energy you hold, and you're not giving up on people, you're not giving up on community. It's like I had this exercise I think a couple of months ago in one of my like group programs, and I asked them, I was like, okay, so tell me, like, oh my god, like the example just flew out of my mind. Okay, I'm improvising here. I have like no notes on this. So I asked them, what happens if like literally no one signed up to your offer, right? Like what happens as a result of that? And of course there were like a lot of like these negative emotions, and a lot of like, okay, so what do we do now? Should we change the program? Should we do this? But the whole point is you have to be able to hold the energy so that you are welcoming people in. You can't be every 2 seconds, maybe I need to change my strategy this way, maybe I need to change my sales approach, and maybe I need to do this, maybe I need to do that. You have to come from a place of like, okay, fine, I know I got this. This is what my program is about. This is the transformation I provide, and you have to hold the energy for it, right? Rather than trying to fill that void in you by creating random offers here and there, or by changing things every 2 weeks. The moment you don't see that validation, you just bail out and you're like, oh my god, it's not working, right? So it's about creating that awareness. It's about creating that mindset. And I think one of the first things that you need is very unshakable belief, and something that I was discussing with one of my like business friends and stuff, and I was telling her about like the concept of abundance and how like in Islam it has been so deeply ingrained, right? Like there was this one dua that I learned very long time ago. It was the gist of that dua was Subhanallahi wa bihamdihi adada khalqihi wa rida nafsihi wa zinata arshihi wa midada kalimati. It was the whole gist of that was that like the whole of all the creation in this world, like all the amount of water in this world, all the amount of trees, all the amount of insects, all the amount of sand grains, and every little drop of water that is there in this world, right? I'm praying that much for you. Like all of us are praising Allah. It like the gist was that. But when you reflect and like do deeper tafsir on that one dua, you will realize that Allah here, He's talking about abundance, right? Like everything that Allah created in this world, it's not only abundant, but it also has this system of not being reliant on anyone. Like there's this whole water cycle. There's so much water in this world. There's this whole water cycle that doesn't need anyone else to operate. It doesn't need someone to like go maintain this, go turn on the switch and then this will happen, and then tune this motor and this will happen. It does none of that. There is this whole system that Allah has built of abundance. There is this, like, I just don't know how can I like explain this concept to you other than saying that we are already living in a very abundant place. Things can happen, like limitless things can happen. Things can happen out of the blue. Like, people will show up. Things can happen. Everything that you want is coming to you exactly as you want it to be. But the whole thing is about you holding the belief that the world is an abundant place. You are abundant. You can have everything. You can have the things that you desire, and all of those things are possible if you come from that place of abundance, right? So firstly, like, really making sure that, like, just be mindful of the number of times during the day you're coming from a place of scarcity, right? It's like this fun exercise that I like to do. Every time I'm having fear and anxiety with my business or something like that, I remind myself, this is me coming from a place of scarcity. Will the person who's already making 50K months, will she have these thoughts? And the answer is no. She won't. She won't be second guessing every time she makes a payment. She won't be overthinking about money. She won't be obsessing over the amount of money that's going in her expenses. She's always really sure about what she's doing in her business, how she's doing, and she's very diligent, and she's not marinating in scarcity. She's not marinating in fear and anxiety the whole day. So I'm not saying you're not allowed to have those emotions. Of course, we're human. We will have anxiety. We will have fear. But you're not like, even that anxiety and that fear that you experience, you're experiencing it from a higher level. It's like, okay, fine. You understand that you have anxiety. You don't associate yourself with anxiety. You come from a high place and you're like, okay, fine. I'm having a very human experience, which is anxiety. Instead of like going down with this emotion, let me just feel this emotion. Let me just explore what this is doing to me. And that way, you can literally just have that emotion, go through that emotion and just come out of it without overthinking, without and this constrictive energy wherein we are like, okay, fine, what do I do right now? Like, let me just post something. It's 6 p.m. I need to have some posts go out today. Let me just do this. Let me just do that. And you're like, okay, fine, what will get me more likes? Let me just go engage with a bunch of people. And you're taking all of this unaligned action because you have associated yourself with that identity of desperation and that identity of need. And that comes across in your content, right? And all of these things are so important in your whole energy, in your whole vibe of how you run your business, right? So as I said, firstly, coming from a place of abundance and always reflecting back to how our deen is built on that. Like, Allah is reminding us of that again and again, right? Second thing is, oh my God, this is going to really, like, I feel, okay, this is like, we're going to have a moment here, right? Exactly when are you going to really realize that this role that you're given, this role of a change maker, this role of being an entrepreneur, this role that you are given to literally replicate this goodness that you have in you, whether that's through your products, whether that's through your program, whether that's through your content, I don't care. But when are you going to finally realize and be like, I'm going to stop playing small? Like, so many entrepreneurs I see time and time again, like, but what if I show up like that? What if this person feels this way? Let me just wait till I'm making that amount of money and then I can show up this way. But if I have this opinion and this person, I remember back then I used to have this thinking, this person might judge me. What if I show up this way and people think, people misunderstand what I'm saying? And you feel this need to over clarify yourself. You feel this need to like justify what you're doing and have like many sentences clarifying yourself. All of that is convincing energy. That's not a leader's energy. You never see a leader justifying. You will never see a leader giving subtext to what they just said, right? Of course, as leaders, it's our responsibility to come from a place of like forgiveness, love, and compassion and gratitude, and not be that way, of course. But if you're always from the place of like, even you thinking that people are going to judge you is you coming from your ego. Like, your ego is trying to protect you, right? So When is it going to be like, give me a time where you'll be like, okay, Aisha, like now I've started my business. 6 months from now, I'm going to start playing big. Like I need that time, right? Or maybe I need to take this course, which will give me the confidence, and then I will show up big. Or maybe I'm waiting for a few more people to sign up to my offers, and then I'll feel worthy, and then I will go ahead and take this mode. Like I will go ahead and like start playing big. When is that time going to be? When are you going to finally realize that this playing small is not giving you any high moral ground? You don't have to like play small to keep everybody else comfortable. You don't have to downplay your role. You don't have to downplay your mission. You don't have to downplay your intelligence and all of those things just so it will be comfortable for everybody else. Be hella ambitious. Like when I talk about like my money goals with my family and stuff, and like now they have gotten so used to it, like they don't react in that way. But like the moment I'm like, you know what, this is what I want for my life. This is what I want for my business. Before I used to get these weird looks like, oh my god, are you delulu or something? But now it doesn't. Like they just believe in me because I believe in myself, right? And if you feel like, you know, people are like always questioning you, they don't believe in, you know, all those things, they're just reflecting the deep insecurity that you have. You got to strengthen what's in you. You have to start playing big. You have to start treating your business that like it's already making 6 figures. You have to start building on your business like, you know, 3 years from now, I'm going to have like a 7-figure business. And there's no question about it. There's no doubt. Like I've said it. It is going to happen. As long as I'm coming from a place of love, as long as I'm coming from good intentions, that is what I want. Right? It's not about whether it happens or not. It's more about the energy that you carry while you are in that, while you're vibrating at that frequency. Like everything that I just said, like going live, doing this live, talking about my offers, this like lights me up. It makes me feel like there's not one person, there's not 2 persons, they're not like 3 people in this life. It's like I have 2,000 people. I'm on stage. That's the energy that I have. That's the vibe that I'm attracting. When you come from this place, nothing. You will not be fazed by people not believing in you. You will not be fazed by people not understanding what you're trying to say. You will not be fazed by people not signing up to your offers. You will not be fazed by not having enough likes. You will not be fazed by anything when you're coming from this place. When you're coming from like already believing in your mission. When you're coming from, I am done playing small. I'm not going to play small to make everybody else comfortable. I'm going to take up space. I'm going to stand up for what I believe in. And when you come from that, you live in that vortex. You live in that vortex of always propelling to what you want. Always propelling to what you want. You will no longer be coming from that place of like desperation, from that place of need, from that place of convincing everybody else to come work with you, right? You won't be handling objections. You won't be doing none of that because you know, like for the mission that you are born for, like the mission, the impact that you're meant to make, things will happen. Like people will fall into place. All the things that you want, Allah will send people your way. And I've seen that happen time and time again, right? I'm not someone who's like, oh my God, like, you know, make hasty money decisions, do this, do that. But I will tell you for a fact that every time when, I'm not saying that I've made back my investment on all the programs that I've ever invested in, but I'm telling you, when I took that aligned action and I knew that this is what I am meant to be doing, and I took that aligned action, I got the help. Like people showed up, the money showed up, the support showed up. Because when you believe in your mission, like the support, the money, the people, everything that you need to get to that place will be sent to you. It will happen. It's like, it's literally magic, right? Like, I don't know. I just have that belief for myself because I genuinely feel like everything that I want literally falls in my lap. Every desire that I have, there is like 100% certainty that's going to happen because I come from that place. I don't come from, oh my God, like what if no one signs up? What if like my business fails? What if I don't make any money and all of that? When I'm coming from that place, How do you think I will be able to hold energy for my community? How do you think I'll be able to hold the energy for my clients? For the clients who paid me like thousands of dollars. You have to work on your inner magnetic energy. You have to work and come from a place of like already playing big. Not waiting for that validation to come from outside, not waiting for someone to come and be like, oh my God, I believe in you, like you can do this. We as women, we rely so much on external validation. We rely so much on that. But the moment you realize that what I'm waiting for someone else to do to me, I can do that. Like your brain, your subconscious mind, your body doesn't know that. You can just look at yourself in the mirror and be like, I'm going to make it happen. I am literally doing it. Like you're doing it. You have started your business. You have gotten clients. You are already making some money. Even if it's not where you wanted to, you're posting, right? You're putting yourself out there. You're taking that aligned action. And that's all that matters, right? I know this gets me so worked up, especially when I'm talking about, I think that's the big mission that I have. I want women to have this next level confidence in themselves. I want women to like really come out of their shells and own the skills and the talents and the wisdom that they have. That's like literally my mission. Every time I talk about playing big, that's how emotional I get, right? Okay, so the next thing, which is going to be the foundation of how you get to that and bring in that clarity, bring in your opinions. When I said clarity in your content, I meant more of you, more of your message, more of your content, more of your opinions, more of your uniqueness, more of your approach, more of your client result, more of your stories, and all of those things in your content. And the basis for that is you being your own role model. Like, take a moment and like just think about the fact that what if you didn't know yourself, you just heard of yourself. You didn't know who you were. You didn't know you didn't even know your name. You just knew that this girl, oh my God, out there, she's gone through like every trial, every difficulty, every down and low moment you've experienced in your life to where you are right now. Everything that you experience, you got to know that about someone else. Does that inspire you? Like, does that make you go like, oh my God, like I respect her so much for everything that she's been through. And the more you're in touch with yourself, the more you're in touch with your emotions, the more you're in touch with your level of awareness. Like, imagine the amount of respect you will have for that person. Even when I think about the fact that, oh my God, like I know someone who's named Aisha, and like everything that she's been through, all the life difficulties, every time she picked herself up, all the mindset issues that she had, all the trauma that she had, all the postpartum depression, everything, the difficulties that she had while parenting, the life difficulties she had, the difficulties she had for her business, every time how she fell, how she failed, but she picked herself up. I respect Aisha so much, right? Like, I'm gonna give her a hug. She's my role model. Like, when I reflect and think about the 15-year-old Aisha that used to cry in her shower because she felt no one heard, like no one understood what she was saying, no one like got her point, when she felt unheard, when she felt like she wasn't seen, she wasn't heard, she wasn't understood, she was all of those things. But yet, once she used to walk out of that shower, she held her head high. She didn't wait for validation. She believed in her vision. She didn't need anyone to tell her what's possible, what's not possible for her. She would keep her head high and take initiative. I respect her so much. I want you to fall in love with yourself to this level. Like, just think about it. Like, now I'm reflecting on all the times when I didn't believe in myself, and if someone asked like for an opportunity would come up, like even if it's a very tiny opportunity, I would raise my hand up and be like, yes, I want to volunteer for that. Yes, I want to participate in that. Yes, I want to do that. Even if something as random as someone would ask, okay, fine, can I have like 2 volunteers? I would raise my hand up. I would do that without anyone telling me, without anyone. Like, in fact, I had people mock me. I had people like make faces when I did that. I had people who told me that why are you being so annoying? Like, it's just so cringe. I didn't care. And I respect that, Aisha. I respect her so much. And I want you to start like looking at yourself. Ah, my God, I'm going to get emotional. Like, actually being that role model for yourself. I remember, and I don't ever want you to think that I was born this way or I always had like that admiration, respect for myself. I didn't have that admiration. I didn't have that respect for myself. I remember, in fact, the first time I ever started doing mindset work, one of the exercises that we had was I had to look at myself in the mirror and I couldn't see anyone. Like, that was the most craziest thing. My God, I couldn't see myself. That's how disassociated I was with myself. My focus was so much on what everyone else thought of me. Like how can I prove my worth to everyone else that I stopped seeing myself. You know what a disservice it is when the whole world is treating you like you're not seen, you're not heard, you're not understood, and then you're doing that to yourself. So many of us are doing that to ourselves. So now when I run my business, when I'm doing anything remotely, I do it for her. I do it for Aisha. I do it because I genuinely enjoy and respect Aisha so much. Like, she's this ball of awesomeness. She has so much love. She has everything. She wants to do so much good. You know, that's the level I want you to come from. I want you to take off anyone that you have as a role model in your life. I want you to take off money from the pedestal and I want you to put yourself up there. And this is not like to come from a place of like obsession. Again, we're coming from a place of self-love. We're coming from a place of gratitude. We're coming from a place of forgiveness. We're coming from a place of being humble, but having that respect for yourself. Right? Like, oh my God, I don't know where this conversation is going, but I think this really needed to be said. And I'm sure like so many women who are still not seeing themselves. You're not seeing who you are, right? Like nowadays when I do any piece of mindset work, or if sometimes I'm just going through something and I look at myself in the mirror and I just have tears. Like, I know sometimes like my siblings make fun of me saying that I'm so emotional all the time. But yeah, like I am, because I finally learned to see myself. I finally learned to like give what I need to myself rather than waiting for others to do that. And that is the essence of self-validation. That is the essence of leadership. When you're able to do that for yourself, because you're not always going to have cheerleaders. You're not always going to have people around you to to tell you every step of the way that you're doing good, you're doing amazing, that's amazing, that's amazing. You're not gonna have that. When I start it's gonna sound crazy, but 3 years ago when I started my business, I had like 10 times more engagement than I have now, right? But that wasn't me. I'm gonna find the right word. I am so unfazed by who watches or how many people watch my stuff. I'm more like, oh my God, like anyone's feed that this video shows up, they are blessed. They're blessed with this energy, right? Like, thank you so much. Like, you're welcome. I'm going to keep doing this because I like doing it. And again, this is not me coming from a place of like ego and being like people like me and all of that. This is just me coming from a place of self-appreciation. Like, I'm a world of my own, just like how you're a world of your own, right? There's never this hierarchy. We're all equal and we're all special. We're all worthy. We're all abundant, right? That's how Allah made us. We're worthy because Allah chose our soul to enter this body. Because our soul chose this body and this life experience, we're worthy because of that. Your life experience is worthy because of that. It doesn't matter because you're not your memories, you're not your mind, you're not your body, you're not your face, you're your soul. And that soul is always worthy because you were chosen. You were chosen for this work, you were chosen for this inspiration, you were chosen for this experience, you were chosen for this, providing this transformation. We don't realize, we get so business minded sometimes and get so hung up on numbers. But when you like come out of all of this and really see the impact that you're creating, you will have so much appreciation for who you are, what you're doing, for your business, for internet. I know so many people who are just so upset with the algorithm, who are so upset with why this is not this way, why things change and all of that. But when you work on your own self-concept, none of that will matter. Like if the money has to come to you, it'll come to you. All of these things are just channels. If this channel ends, a new channel will open up because you're worthy, you're abundant. It's inevitable for the mission that you want to live for, that you have all of these things being provided to you. Just outsource that. Outsource that to Allah. He will provide all of those things. You be the best version. You create content. You do all of these things because you want to. Because you genuinely want to. Because you enjoy it. Right? It should just come naturally to you. Oh my god, this live was a lot longer than I expected it to be. And I think I do have a few more things, but I think let's keep it for another live, because I think this live itself was just so powerful. And essentially when you work on these things, you will automatically gain that clarity in your content. And of course, this is something that we go so deep inside the hypermind, because the first stage of hypermind is identity shift. It's going to change the way you look at yourself. It's going to change the way you think about your business, how you market. It's going to change all of those things, right? So that's like the first stage. The second stage of the hypermind is all about mastering your self-expression. It's about binge-worthy content. It's about understanding what's your natural creative flow, mastering that, right? Like how can we create more impactful, how can we create more stronger, more profound content for your people, to activate them just as how you are activated and how you are the thing, like you are it, you are meant for this. And all of that will start when you have that foundation, right? So that's the identity shift is the first one. Second is binge-worthy content. The third stage is all about sales. Like I'm gonna make sales feel so effortless that it feels like you're just chatting with your best friend. It's gonna be second nature. It's gonna be so good that it'll take you I'm so glad it now takes me less than 5 to 10 minutes maybe. If I'm like in an active launch, it takes me like 5 to 10 minutes to post on my stories about sales. I don't have to overthink it. I know what works. I have created repeatable strategies. I know what I'm doing, and it just does. It just feels like second nature. I don't even think about sales like as an activity anymore. I don't even add it to my to-do list. It's something that I do, right? And that's the energy that I will help you tap into when we get to that stage. And the fourth stage, and literally like my most favorite stage about the hypermind, is passive hotcake offers. Like why I love this, because of how perfect it is for like moms, right? Because I want you to have like a steady stream of income through your offers without you actively doing much over it. I don't want you to be planning a lengthy content planner and launch for 6 weeks and do like a 5-day challenge. If all of those things are things that you want to do and they light you up, of course you can, but you don't have to do them, right? So in this, we design your crazy, oh my god, I don't even know how to describe this, but like really specific sales messaging for your offer, so it becomes so irresistible for your people that you will have sales. Like I had like it's on my profile, like one of my client, like the moment we created passive hotcake offers for her business, she was making sales while literally she was not even selling. She was not even posting content. She was on break for like 2 to 3 weeks, and she had like people sign up to her course. And that happens because of of how we designed her offer. It happens because of how we crafted her sales message to clearly communicate and drive people to make that buying decision without being in an active launch, without being selling all the time or having like a lengthy launch email calendar. Like I have done all of that, so I know like very well firsthand how overwhelming it can be. Launch calendars, content calendars, like a launch event, email sequences. Oh my goodness, I'm so not about that, but I did all of that at some point. It did serve me. So I'm not saying it doesn't work, but yeah, like if you don't want to do them, you don't have to. So we don't do any of that we don't do any of that in the Hypermind. But if you're interested, I will definitely give you the tools and the strategies for that. This stage is going to be all about designing hotcake passive offers, so that and like a very evergreen content strategy, right? Just for that one offer, so that we are driving in recurring income for your business for a long time. Like I'm just telling you that once you build on that offer, once you get clear on what is working and how you're replicating, each month you'll start seeing double the result the month after that, triple the result from after that, because we're not starting every month with zero. We know what works. We know we are replicating what is doing well, and then we're crafting the message. We're getting even more specific. We're getting even more clearer. We are reducing the gaps in your sales strategy to the point that that whole offer, your passive offer, actually sells like hotcake. I've seen that happen with myself and with my clients. Like so many of my offers, I literally I have an offer in my link tree, which is like storytelling cash flow, and that just goes like that because I have had like that consistent flow of that. And now when I have people that I'm talking about that, it's like a no-brainer. People just go into that directly, right? So that's how I've structured the Hypermind. And so much of the Hypermind is literally a blueprint of what I have done, a blueprint of how I have been able to make it so easy for me to make money now. I have made it so easy for me to run my business with 2 kids, with having a very unpredictable lifestyle, like traveling constantly, moving countries and all of those things. And it doesn't impact in the way I do my business. It doesn't impact in the amount of money I make. It always goes up because I have this very, very powerful standard for when it comes to money, which is like, you know what, no matter what, things will work out no matter what. Money will show up no matter what. Clients will show up no matter what. My business will keep running no matter what, right? So that's like literally the vibe and what we do in the Hypermind. I had a few people DM me about the details on the Hypermind a little more. So let me just give you that. It's going to be 2 hot seat coaching calls for 6 months. So that's like, how many is that? That's like 12 calls. 12 hot seat coaching calls. You will have 1 day a week Voxer coaching. That's going to be private because I know there comes a point wherein you're like, I do have a few things to say, but I don't want to say them in a call. I wish we could just, have that intimate touch. I have had that a couple of times. So that's why I have that element of intimate support in, even if this is like a group program, you will have that intimate support 1 day a week. And then you have access to the modules, which is going to be literally the education part of the content and sales and the strategies and all those things. And then in the hot seat coaching, it's more like an application based approach, right? So we draft a strategy, we draft what you're supposed to do, and then we keep on improving that. It's more going to be application based, right? And I have designed this offer. I have launched this offer almost 4 times now, right? And each time it just kept getting better. The content, the curriculum, the way I'm delivering it, the way I'm like literally running it, it's going to keep on getting more and more clear, more and more specific, right? So that's all that I had today for you guys. I had like so much fun doing this, and that's what I was like the other day. I was typing out content and I was just like, oh my god, like I just want to do lives these days. I'm feeling so aligned with this, and maybe I will. Maybe I'll just like start YouTube or something, because I'm a very visual person, more than like I am a podcast person as well. I generally love doing that, but I think I'm going to, it's like a thing that's happening in my brain. So maybe if it lands somewhere, I'm like, okay fine, let's start YouTube. I'm actually in, and I want to do it for my community. I want to do it for my clients so that they can have it on them, when they're on the go and they're doing something, and they can just plate and stuff. So yeah, that's all that I had. And I did have like so many other things that I wanted to say, but I didn't want to like overwhelm everyone in this one live. And yeah, I hope you have an amazing day, and bye.